afternoon, class. I'm Professor Ryan.
Professor Brandon, how we doing?
We are your subs today. Your professor couldn't make it.
You see the lesson plan? Well, it doesn't seem like we have a lesson plan today, so why don't we tell a story?
Yeah.
What story shall we tell?
I kind of like the tortoise and the hare story.
The version we know, right?
Digby 2-6.
Digby 2-6 version.
Yeah, we're gonna tell
Digby
that.
2-6 story today.
All right. Well, we're gonna pull that on up real quick for you guys. Hi. The tortoise and the hare is a story about how slow and steady wins the race. We're gonna use that to kind of tell you about how Digby used the same strategies as the tortoise to win Foundation Industry 2-6.
So, like Professor Ryan said, Digby decided to start off slow. They decided their strategy would be a primarily low-tech provider, so they're only going to make low-tech products, and they wanted to penetrate that market. So originally, for the first couple rounds, as you can see on the board here, their sales were kind of slower, they were lower. They didn't do as well as some of the other companies, but they were planning for the later rounds. This right here is our round 3 fast track. As you can see, Digby made a little over $1 million in profit. So they broke roughly even, maybe a little bit over. Overall, some of the other companies did a little bit better. But this was our strategy. This was Digby's strategy. Take it nice and easy and slow. They wanted to plan for the later rounds. Now, they did have some challenges. They started off with a faulty product and they didn't do so well. But on the plus, as you can see here on our balance scorecard, we finished with a 5 out of 5 in working capital. So we started off well in that aspect of the balanced scorecard. And additionally, on the analyst report, we got all the points for no emergency loan. We did not hit an emergency loan. While other companies did hit an emergency loan. We had Andrews hit an emergency loan in that first round. So overall, the slower start led to better in the end, just like the tortoise. Tortoise started off slow. Do we have any questions in class?
Yep, I have one.
Yep.
So why were you lost money for the first round?
So we didn't do so well in profits for the first couple rounds, because like I said, we were kind of planning for the later rounds. We originally started off with a bad product. It had 15,000 MTBF, when the ideal range for low-tech products is 20,000. So we had them in the right spots, but it was so important that we had that 20,000 MTBF, and it would have sold more if we were there. Since we were kind of scared of going under and getting an emergency loan, we decided that it would be a better decision to make lower costs and have a little bit of a worse product than to have the potential of being worse off. So round 4 is really when we start hitting our stride. This is right when we got slept on, just like the tortoise got slept on. Our market share went up at a high 19.3%, second highest in the industry. We had the most profits by 3 million. And we had 3 companies in our industry go under because of us. So round 4, like I said, is really when our strategy hit well. All of our products were in a good place, and we hit good parts of our balanced scorecard. As you can see here on our balanced scorecard, our profits were 3.5 out of 9, so not the highest, but it was the highest in the industry. Right here, as you can see, our margins were very, very high, and it got us a ton of points for our analyst report. So overall, this is right when we started turning things around and started to win the race.
Questions?
Why do you guys think you did so well?
Well, I think we did well just because simply we had better products than everyone. To date, Digby is one of the top companies in the industry. There's 3 companies, Baldwin, Chester, and Digby, that are kind of competing to see who will have the best team in the end. We're all around 40 million cumulative in profit, reaching 14.5 million in profit this last round. All the contribution margins across the teams are all pretty high, so basically everyone's doing pretty well. As you can see here on the success measures, we stressed how important our strategy was, ROS was, and as you can see, we were one of the leaders in the industry. Additionally, bouncing back from our slow start, we got our stock price up to almost $40, and also being one of the leaders in our industry in stock price. Originally, we said our strategy was to be a low-tech provider, and we have continued through that unlike every other team. Are there any questions?
I have one. So can you talk about the most challenge that you have met and your experiences that for this captain?
So one challenge we met was at the beginning. We did start slow because we made a not so great product. And we had to, once we changed that MTBF, our mean time before failure, up to the correct amount, we started pumping out sales and doing much, much better. As for what we learned,
The experience that we had was kind of like slow and steady wins the race, sort of like the tortoise beat the hare, and Digby will beat this industry. Digby out.